Welcome to CCTV America. I'm Mike Walter. Thanks so much for joining us. A slow but steady stream of voters flocking to polling stations across the United States. That's the word from election officials in many states. There's a lot at stake in these midterm elections, including control of the U.S. Congress. Republicans need to pick up a net of 6 seats in order to take control of the Senate. They already control the House. All of the yellow states in this map are said to be toss-ups, meaning it's too close to predict whether the state will vote for the Republican or Democratic candidate. CCTV's Jessica Stone is live here in Washington. Jessica, many analysts expecting a big night, though, for Republicans, correct?
Absolutely, and that would potentially mean a new Senate Majority Leader. Who's first in line? The current Senate Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. He's a Republican, and yet after 30 years in the Senate, he's in a race for his life.
From where I'm from, but maybe you feel like home.
Driving through the Kentucky mountains, it doesn't take long for the music.
I'm Allison Grimes, and Kentucky can change Washington.
To give way to political ads.
Mitch McConnell is at the heart of everything that's wrong in Washington.
In one of the most expensive political races in the United States.
But Mitch McConnell has been the leader in fighting back for our coal families and our jobs.
$78 million and counting, according to the Center for Responsive Politics.
I think it's exciting. We're making history right here, right now.
This is a big race. I think every Kentucky citizen knows that.
At a microbrewery called Country Boy in central Kentucky, some voters are ready for a change. Nick Edwards and his fellow college students weren't even born when Republican Senator Mitch McConnell took office in Washington, D.C.
You can really look at what he's done for the state, and it kind of seems small compared to what could have been done.
IT engineer Hark Pickett wants to see more legislation on tap moving through Congress.
We're kind of at a gridlock or stalemate in Congress, and it would be nice to have that broken up.
Will you react with me by standing up and fighting back?
Allison Lundergan Grimes is the Democrat running against McConnell. On this day, she's in eastern Kentucky's coal country, reassuring coal miners she'll protect their jobs. In the past year, the coal industry has lost more than 15% of its jobs, almost all of them here. McConnell blames President Barack Obama's environmental regulations for the job losses and has tried to tie Grimes to that policy. She's tried to put distance between her views on coal and the president's. Veteran coal miners Bubby Bevins and Dusty Scott take us deep underground between shifts.
It's the best grade of coal in the state, really.
Men like them can earn $60 an hour. But their mine has hit hard times. Bubby Bevins has had to lay off about 30 miners because customers can't meet environmental regulations if they buy the mine's high-sulfur coal.
One whole section, 3 shifts we had to lay off.
Will you be able to bring him back?
We'll bring them back little by little.
You had to lay off your son?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
That was hard, I bet.
Well, we've been trying to get him back on,
By now, coal employs less than 1% of folks here in Kentucky, but the politics of coal still run very deep.
As far as the woman's concerned, she's anti-coal. She says she ain't, but what I seen out of her, she is. No.
Mrs. Grimes?
Yeah. And I don't think she can help the coal business none. But McConnell, I think, is about the only hope we got.
But maybe you feel like home.
With coal taxes funding everyday services for Kentucky residents and even the roads they drive on, many votes in this consequential Senate race still revolve around Kentucky coal.
Jessica, let's shift from coal to cold, hard cash. A lot has been spent in this election to try and influence the outcome. What can you tell us about that?
Well, this race broadly across the country is slated to be the most expensive in U.S. history. Let's throw up some numbers for you. If you take a look at these estimates from the Sunlight Foundation, you'll see they're estimating that the total money raised and spent in this election could be as high as $4 billion. Now, 11 Senate races account for more than half of that spending, and 3/4 of outside spending is being spent on negative advertising. In other words, ads against the opposing candidate. There's been a lot of political fundraisers and parties, a total of 3,400 some political fundraisers and parties. So again, Mike, a very expensive cost to politicians and their supporters. We'll see what the outcome is and whether the money was worth it.
We'll definitely keep our eye on it. Jessica Stone live here in Washington, D.C.